Welcome, guys. This is Liverpool FC Journal. I'm Owen James. This is your Liverpool news update, guys. It is growing increasingly likely or increasingly certain, I think, that Arne Slot will be gone at least at the end of the season. There are reports in a number of media sources at the moment in time alleging that if we lose to Marseille again on Wednesday night, that he will be sacked after that. I highly doubt that. I think the intention is to wait till the end of the season, if I'm being honest. I think it would take a Champions League victory for Arne Slot to remain in his position. But look, that's what the rumour is. I would say it's 95% certain he won't be here next season. But there appears to be a growing push to discuss and to talk about this man as the next Liverpool head coach, manager, whatever you want to call it. Xabi Alonso, of course, who was sacked by Real Madrid just recently. Let's get one thing straight. People will say, he failed at Madrid. He didn't succeed at Madrid. He didn't fail at Madrid. Madrid is a basket case of a football club. It is an absolute crazy place to go. And the problem with Real Madrid for me is you have too many players there who are more interested in the image of being a Real Madrid player rather than actually pulling their weight and actually playing for the club. The likes of Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, who are arrogant pricks, are just here to basically play for the club. Use the image of Real Madrid to further their own ends rather than actually play for the club. And I think player power wasn't something that Alonso, was prepared to tolerate. And I think, unfortunately for him, he lost that battle with player power at Madrid, as a number of coaches have done. I think all Madrid players want is a yes man, and certainly Alonso was not that. You look at his record certainly before that at Bayer Leverkusen, it is absolutely excellent. So, clearly Alonso is a very talented coach. Clearly Alonso is someone who, I think will have further successes as a coach somewhere else, as a head coach somewhere else. That could possibly be Liverpool. Now, I know that Spurs are looking at possibly sacking Thomas Frank after poor run results. I know that Spurs are interested in Xabi Alonso, but there's been counter reports saying that Alonso doesn't see Spurs as a good option, that he obviously is looking for bigger options than Spurs, which will certainly annoy some Spurs fans. I think Alonso genuinely thinks there is an opportunity for him to come to Liverpool as manager in the summer at very least. However, there is a kind of chatter going on that that he would accept an offer from Liverpool mid-season and that he would come to be the manager. Now, this comes obviously on the back of reports that Alonso was looking for a break from coaching, after obviously working intensely at Bayer Leverkusen, then going to Madrid, which we know is like a pretty mentally exhausting and physically exhausting experience. That he was looking for some sort of pause between leaving Madrid and taking another job. Now, Marca, who are one of the major Spanish publications, have put out a report today countering that. This is what Marca are saying. Xabi Alonso's plan is now to take a small pause from coaching unless Liverpool go for him. He would immediately accept to coach Liverpool as he really loves the club. Obviously, Alonso is an ex-Liverpool player. Alonso is someone who has previously been linked with the job. Now, I think there is a few things we need to kind of address here. We kind of need to address some of the lies, some of the misconceptions that have been told around Xabi Alonso. One of the things that was kind of quoted is that he turned down the Liverpool job. And so because he turned down the Liverpool job, he should not be considered as the new Liverpool manager because of that alleged turn down of the job. Now, let's get one thing straight. He was never offered the Liverpool job. If you go and you look at the reports, look at the evidence, look at what was said around the appointment of the replacement of Jurgen Klopp, Alonso wasn't actually offered the job. It was only ever Arne Slot that was offered the job. The same way that Ruben Amorim was never, ever offered the job. It is a case of the fact that, that he never, ever turned down this job. So let's get that 100% straight. It is not a situation, and it has never been a situation that Liverpool were turned down by Xabi Alonso. Let's also address another response, and this is something I've had on social media a number of times about Xabi Alonso, was why would Liverpool take on a manager that Arne Slot has beaten twice? Well, look, if we're starting to use that argument, guys, then Keith Andrews, whose Brentford side outplayed us this season, should he be the new manager of Liverpool? Peter Bosz, PSV Eindhoven manager, should he be the new manager of Liverpool because his side beat Liverpool twice, once in Eindhoven last season and once this season at Anfield, where they absolutely took us to the cleaners? Should he be the new Liverpool manager? Nuno Espirito Santo took 4 points out of 6 off Arne Slot last season as Nottingham Forest manager. Should that's by your argument, then Nuno Espirito Santo is a better manager than Arne Slot. Ruben Amorim has taken 4 points out of 6 off Arne Slot. So should Ruben Amorim be the new Liverpool manager? So I think the argument that is made by some deluded fans that he shouldn't be the manager because Arne Slot's beaten him twice clearly shows a complete lack of understanding of football and a complete just lunacy that needs to be addressed. So look, that is not an argument for not appointing Xabi Alonso as Liverpool manager. Look, Liverpool are, yes, 12 games unbeaten, but it's more a 12-game limp than a 12-game quality performance. Now, you can listen to some people, and some people, I was listening to a podcast this afternoon, and somebody on there, I'm not going to name names, I'll tell you what podcast it was, says that, we're in 4th place and we're improving. If this is not improving, guys, if you're sitting there and honestly telling me that we're improving, you clearly know jack shit about football. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse, if anything. So anyone sitting there saying things are improving under Arne Slot, which this individual did, clearly has about as much clue about football as a pile of dog turd, really. I mean, genuinely no clue whatsoever. Liverpool, obviously, there was, I think, signs at Anfield as well on Saturday that there was a growing dissatisfaction with Arne Slot from the Liverpool fans. The cop singing attack, 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 which has not happened for a number of years now. Obviously, very frustrated at the way that Liverpool play football. And the boos, which were not frustration, Arne, but were genuinely boos of absolute anger and just sheer, we've had enough of what we're seeing from your team and we don't want it anymore. That's what those boos said, Arne. Let's get that clear. Now, look, these reports coming out of Spain are encouraging. And I would certainly, hope that the Liverpool hierarchy in Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are taking these, reports seriously, are looking at these and have, had contacts, hopefully, with Xabi Alonso. I mean, there are rumours going around that there have been contacts between Liverpool and Xabi Alonso, which I don't think is true at this point. I think any talks with Liverpool in terms of a future manager, a replacement manager for Slot, would happen through intermediaries and would happen through back channels, and certainly wouldn't be official. I know clubs' succession plan. I know clubs will always have a situation where if they are going to sack their manager, they will have a idea of who the replacements could be. So I get that, but that tends to be done through intermediaries, through other options. It's not through direct club two-person contact, as that obviously would undermine the person currently in the role. But look, it appears to me that Alonso wants the job, that he does want to come. It appears that he's just awaiting the phone call. I would really hope that FSG, that Richard Hughes, that Michael Edwards would see that this season is going one way, that is going a situation that we are not going to win any trophies this season. I highly doubt we'll win the FA Cup. I highly doubt we'll win the Champions League. We are way out of it in the Premier League, which there's no way Liverpool should be, having spent 420 million. Like I said, I addressed on the video earlier, the squad is there. It's just a case of Arne doesn't like or use certain players and isolates players because his man management's so bad. I'd hope that FSG would see this and see that, look, if you want to guarantee Champions League football, there is a chance that Liverpool could miss out on Champions League football. As I've said, Manchester United are improving under Michael Carrick. I think they will be banging this battle for fourth. I think as well, you look at Newcastle, again, will be in the battle for fourth. Chelsea, who've signed Jacquet, the French defender today, another alleged target for Liverpool, signed and gone from this club. So again, they will be in the battle. So I think, there's a very real chance that Liverpool could finish as low as 6th or 7th in this league under Arne Slot if this continues. It needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed now. And for me, Xabi Alonso is the best bet to take this club forward from this point now, never mind at the end of this season. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.